Today, we're exploring values, what they are, how they drive us, and how we can arrange them in a way that serves us best. We'll wrap it all up with a powerful and practical principle you can apply in both your career and personal life. Let's start with a working definition. Values are hybrid mental representations that guide our actions. They're called hybrid because they involve both concepts and emotions. For example, think of the value of honor. To understand what's honorable, you need both a concept of honor and an emotional push that drives you to act honorably, no matter the challenge. So, how do values influence our actions? On one hand, our actions can reflect our values, and on the other, our values motivate our actions. Simply put, how we behave is an incarnation of what we value. This concept has deep philosophical roots. The branch of philosophy called axiology focuses on questions about what is good and how we measure that goodness. It asks whether the things we value are tied to our psychological states or if they exist in the external world. Now, while neuroscience doesn't have all the answers when it comes to values like it does with systems of perception or cognition, we do know a few things about how our brains process value-driven behavior. For instance, the neurotransmitter dopamine plays a crucial role. Dopamine isn't just about pleasure, it's about motivation. In a famous study, mice genetically altered to lack dopamine would starve to death even if food was just a few inches away. Without dopamine, they had no motivation to move toward the food. That's how essential it is. Now, let's get to the practical part. Values don't exist in isolation. They form networks or systems in our minds. Some values are fixed, but most are malleable. For example, if you value financial independence, it may stem from deeper values like freedom, stability, or socioeconomic status. Values connect, and understanding these connections can help you design a system that works for your unique situation. Here's a thought experiment for you. Will you design your value system like a pharaoh or a horde warlord? Pharaohs, like Ramses II, ruled over hierarchies. A pharaoh-inspired value system would be structured like a pyramid, with each value having a clear place in the hierarchy. In this setup, one value, say, happiness, might sit at the top, and every other value serves to support it. This kind of value system creates focused, goal-oriented behavior. It's controlled, reliable, and rigid. And for many, especially in structured careers or military life, this can be a very effective way to operate. On the other hand, think of a horde warlord like Genghis Khan. Early in his reign, Genghis Khan united many tribes with a more horizontally distributed power structure. A warlord-inspired value system is more like a web than a pyramid. Here, values are placed on equal footing, coordinating and complementing one another. This kind of system promotes creativity, spontaneity, and flexibility. It's fluid rather than rigid, which might be more suitable for artistic endeavors or roles that require adaptability. So, here's your practical principle. Design your value system on a spectrum between pharaoh and horde warlord, depending on what suits your unique life and career. Different areas of life may call for different systems. For example, you might be more like a pharaoh when it comes to romantic relationships, valuing trust above all else. But when it comes to friendships, you might be more like a warlord, letting mutual interests guide the relationship without one value dominating the others. We hope today's session got you thinking about your values in a new way. Now, whether you choose to approach life like a pharaoh or a horde warlord, know that you're one step closer to reaching your goals. You've got this.